Why do people use prop microphones? I can't say for certain, but I have a few theories on why people use them. Number one is there seems to be a misconception that you need to look a certain way or that you need to use specific gear in order to be a professional or in order to fit a certain role or in order to fit in. For example, late night talk show hosts. Yes, I have been using a prop microphone this entire time because I wanted to copy you. I'm using a handheld condenser. No, I'm not. I'm using a condenser that I bought at auction sitting on my desk. But late night talk show hosts, this is very common. What do all of them have sitting on their desk? They have a large diaphragm condenser, multi-pattern C414 style looking microphone, or a vintage classic ribbon microphone. Why do they do that? First off, maybe some of them are functional, but I don't believe the majority of them are. So if they aren't functional, maybe they are paying homage to all of the classics. To David Letterman, to Johnny Carson, to everybody who has come before them. Maybe it's the hosts making that decision, or maybe it's the set designers making that decision. Or perhaps it is them thinking, oh gosh, everybody who came before me did this, I need to do this too. Oh gosh, everybody else who has a late night talk show has one of these too. I need to do this too. Maybe that's what's going on. I can't say for certain, but it is one of those two things. Either it is the set designer, it is the host making the decision to pay homage to the greats that came before them, or they're just trying to fit in. And that has to exist outside of just late night talk show. Look at YouTube. What is the current microphone that you have to have in order to be professional? The SM7B. I have said many times, don't buy the SM7B just because everybody uses it. Buy it if it is the right microphone for your job. If it is the right microphone to fulfill the task that you are buying a microphone for. What was it before then? The Blue Yeti. If you are a podcaster, you are not a podcaster unless you use a Blue Yeti or an SM7B. It's nonsense. But I think that is a lot of the mentality. It's kind of that herd mentality. Everybody else is doing it, so I might as well too. Not everybody can be wrong, right? So that is the first reason. It is this misconception that you need to fit in, that you need to use what everybody else uses in order to be professional, in order to be taken seriously. So if you're out on the street and you have a boom microphone that is out of frame, yeah, you're getting sound that sounds great. Maybe you have a lav microphone. You're getting sound that sounds great. But what have all the classic ENG people standing in hurricanes, what have they used? A handheld microphone. So won't you need to have a handheld microphone? Will people take you seriously if you don't? Probably. But I think there's a misconception there. The second theory that I have is maybe the microphone is functioning as kind of a safety blanket or a barrier between the host and the audience. If you've ever been on stage, you know how uncomfortable it can be. You know how vulnerable you can feel. Go up on stage without a guitar, you feel very vulnerable, you feel very naked. But put on a guitar and get on stage, there is this massive piece of wood that sounds so dirty. There's a massive piece of wood between you and the audience, protecting you from them. They can throw stuff. Yeah, they may be able to hit you in the head. They're not going to hit you in the body. They're not going to hit you center mass. So maybe the microphone is just that same idea. That safety blanket, that barrier. It gives the host the perception, okay, I'm not talking directly to the audience. They aren't listening directly to me. I am talking to this microphone. I am talking into this lens. That's who I'm talking to. I don't have to worry about the tens of thousands of people who will see this. It's just me and this microphone. It's a bit of a barrier. The third theory that I have is pulled directly from Talladega Nights, but maybe they don't know what to do with their hands. If you're standing in front of a camera, what do you do with your hands? Do you have the ability to talk with your hands? Because apparently that makes you more trustworthy. But if you don't have that ability, do you just stand with your hands dead at your side? Because now you're just a weirdo. You just look like a psychopath. I should know because this is how I talk to people. I just stand there with my arms at my side with my eyes wide open. People don't talk to me anymore. So perhaps having a microphone is not just a safety blanket. Maybe it's not just to do what everybody else does, but it is to give the host something to do with their hand. Now I know what I'm doing with my hand. It is to hold this microphone. It is holding this microphone. I don't feel awkward now. So those are my theories on why people do it. Does this bother me? Not typically. It doesn't really bother me much at all. I don't care that late night talk show hosts have the microphone on their desk when they're not really plugged in. Though one instance where it does bother me, when they're misused. The most recent one that comes to mind here is the Electro Voice RE20. You all know what it's going to be in the Queen movie, the Freddie Mercury movie, where he is singing in the studio into the side of the Electro Voice RE20. That's the only real instance where it bothers me because it's putting out information that is going to mislead people. People will misuse their microphone because they saw it used like that. Hopefully people buying a $450 microphone understand how to use it, but that may be giving people too much credit. The amount of people I've seen misusing the SM7B or the Blue Yeti is just countless. So why wouldn't that happen with the $450 RE20 as well? So there you go, Matt. Those are my responses. Thank you very much for the question. That was a lot of fun to do. I mean, that was a lot of fun to do as I am hand-holding this microphone that I am absolutely using. I don't know what to do with my hands. Okay, let's jump to the next voice submission from Daily Tech News, aka DTN. Take it away, bro.